All right, here we go. All right. We are live. Just waiting for some folks to jump in, and then we can get the show started. So hopefully, people are tuned in, and we get the show started. So uh, we'll give it a couple seconds, and then see if some folks jump in.
Well, let's just
And
intro it, man. What the hell, If they're late, fuck them. They can catch up later.
yeah, well, true that too. So, all right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. We do apologize for not being here last week. We had technical difficulty due to California's insane weather. So, we appreciate you guys for being here. God bless you guys. Like this video, share this video. Uh, I'm your host, Julius. We got Nick. We have a guest on. We'll introduce you in just a second. But if you guys want to follow me and subscribe to my YouTube, do hit that subscription button and hit that bell for all notifications so you guys can be notified when we go live, the videos and things like that, YouTube shorts, all that good stuff. We are also live on the Age of Men podcast. So we're live on my channel today with Julius, and then we're also live on the Age of Men podcast. So if you're watching on the Age of Men podcast, do hit that subscription and that bell to notify for for everything. Content for shorts, lives, videos, whatever the case may be. Do all that. We appreciate you guys. God bless you guys. Also, too, you guys can also follow me on other social media platforms. Today with Julius on Instagram is where I post all the news. I post the headlines of as much news as I can, what's happening in today's world, whether it be a fight in Walmart or things about, flying cars or something like that. So I post that on my Instagram. So do follow me there as well. And that's it for me. Nick, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and where the folks can follow you at?
Yeah, I don't have much of intro. My handle on most platforms is C3 Nick. I'm out here to stir some deep discussions by doing and saying some controversial things that maybe most people don't, because of fear of blowback for jobs or society or anything like that. As I say often, I'm Frankenstein's monster. I'm the monster that was made by the system, and now I'm out to destroy it. I got nothing better to get up for in the morning or do, so let's freaking go.
Right on. And then we also got a special guest. We got Rosita in the house. How you doing today? Go ahead and tell the folks who you are, what you're about, and where they can follow you at.
Hi, I'm Rosita of Earth to Rosita, vegan, Zoroaster, certified weirdo,
Nice.
astrology nut, traveler. Yeah.
Right on.
You can find all my links on my YouTube channel. Like, they're all different handles, so because I've been deplatformed more than once.
Oh, yeah. Story of my life. I feel you, girl.
Yeah. what I'll do is too. I totally forgot about this. I'll put your link at the bottom of the screen once the show is over, so folks can find you once they rewatch the show. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So for those of you guys who are watching, if you saw the title on the screen, it says "Believe No Women." I'm gonna segue that to Nick and I's shirt that we had on some episodes ago, or 2 weeks ago. We have this shirt that we got right here called "Believe No Women." Now, if you're wondering why we got this shirt, "Believe No Women," let me ask you this. Doesn't that sound just as absurd as saying "believe all women"? Think about that. So "Believe No Women," we got this shirt because we had this Me Too movement going on some years ago with the Me Too, "Believe All Women," and that got radicalized. It got hijacked to the point where women can just say whatever they want, and men are getting either in huge trouble because of it. There's a story where a guy committed suicide because a woman lied on him. So these things are happening. So the point is that not to believe someone just because they said it, to research before you react. So we got this "Believe No Women," and of course it's controversial, so why not? So
that's how you get discussions stirred. That's how you get people paying attention in this crazy world. And it is just like that. Yeah, believe no women. That seems ridiculous, right? Just as ridiculous as believe all women. Of course, you don't have to believe all or no women or all or no of anybody. You should take it by a case by case basis and by the facts, on the facts.
Agreed.
Absolutely. So
yeah,
I was actually going to ask you.
Real quick, I was going to ask, we're not toxic masculine or anything like this from your perspective. You see what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm toxic. I'm toxic all the way.
Yeah. Get it. Say it, Julius. Tell them.
Oh gosh.
I'm toxic all the way, bro.
Don't hurt him, Hammer.
Rosita, let me go ahead and ask you, what is your thoughts on believe no women? Do you agree with that statement? Do you disagree?
Believe no women. I agree with what you said. Obviously, like it has to be a case by case basis. Like you can't just believe all women. That's ridiculous to me. Like
Yeah,
it would
to
be
anybody, right?
ridiculous as saying believe all men.
Exactly. And think how controversial that statement would be if you were to say that right now in this society that doesn't seem to care very much for men, to say the least. That would be absurd. And are we suggesting that like women aren't capable of lying sometimes?
Actually, like in my like since I've been delving more into like spirituality and like my like the Zoroastrian roots, there is a belief in the Zoroastrian religion saying that women are more susceptible to dark forces. I read that somewhere and I was like really intrigued by that.
Me too. Go on.
Like I think that the background of that is because women are, first of all, we're more like, we don't really like, feminine energy doesn't really like have a direction like masculine energy does. So it can lead down an evil path easier for that reason. Because it's feeling based, it's emotion based. So that's why I think, like, I haven't read the Avastan yet, but I think that's where that belief comes from.
Do you think that the reason why women are more susceptible to dark forces is because the whole Adam and Eve story, the serpent told Eve to eat the apple, and then she convinced Adam to eat the apple as well. She was consumed by a dark force, and then ended up falling for that lie. Essentially, eat the apple, nothing will happen to you. And all of a sudden, she disobeyed God, and then convinced Adam to do it as well. So you think that has a hereditary lineage on
Interesting
women
question.
to go to the dark forces? If you think about it too, if you look at how women vote, most women tend to vote Democrat, and Democrats tend to have a more kind of dark force type policies like abortion or kind of more of this socialism kind of idea. You know what I mean? Like that's why I think by you saying that women are more acceptable to dark forces because it started with Eve. Do you agree with that, or what do you think?
I have a whole post about like Lucifer, Satan, the serpent on my Instagram, but basically the serpent, Lucifer, Satan, like that was that was like a feminine force, because like the serpent, it's interesting that in the book it's like a serpent, and the serpent relates to Scorpio, and Scorpio is a feminine water sign ruled by Mars and Pluto is a hell planet. So if you like studied Greek mythology like I have, it's really like, it really like shows, like this has been spoken about in like a variety of different spiritual texts, but yes, I agree with what you're saying about Eve.
Wow, amazing, Julius. Great question, great answer.
Now, mind you, I could be totally wrong, but I've always thought about that because if you're saying that women have these dark forces, I would argue that that's probably the reason why. I could be totally wrong. I'm just saying, what if there's a connection between those two? That because she fell for the serpent, that she'll easily fall for anything else as well. That's why women kind of tend to have a more, like for example, even with the whole COVID stuff, you saw women who kind of more like, oh, I gotta care for my family, my friends, like kind of more emotional because people were dying, things like that. Like that's kind of their emotional roller coaster, if you will. So I mean, I'm just saying, that's where I kind of get that connection from. I could be totally wrong though.
Well, let me dare suggest that I think this is a great way to kind of self-promote our show here for a second. This is why we need an age of men. Women, because of that susceptibility due to being the more emotional, nurturing kind of all that stuff that comes with that side of being a more feeling-based person, as opposed to a more logical-based person, problem solver kind of thing. We need each other to complement That's the point. The man, as the logical problem-solving kind of guy, has to deal with facts. I say to my girls sometimes, I'm like, look, I can't afford to indulge feelings, not even my own. So I can't take on it like yours or anybody else's sometimes because I have to deal in the world of facts. Like I have to problem solve with facts. Whereas women, you're more adept at being caretakers, feeling based and connecting on emotional deep like levels that us men are kind of dense about sometimes. And therefore, you can't afford to necessarily take logic into the equation sometimes because it'll override your feelings and your emotions and your ability to care like that.
Yeah.
So Nick, you're saying that men are more logical and women are more emotional. Yes.
Generally, yeah.
Generally, but like the thing, the problem, like not the problem, but the place where it gets a little bit complex is like I told you guys that I'm an astrology nut, so it depends on the astrology of the person, and it depends on like the generation they're born as well. The generation is really important too. Like you notice the similarities between Gen X and Gen Z. Do you guys notice the similarities between them?
I don't even know what the Gen X and Gen Z like. What is the generation?
Yeah.
Like?
Yeah.
So the Gen Xers are like the generation where the hippie movement began.
Yeah. The more boomers. Yeah.
What do you mean, like the hippie movement, like the flower childs of like the 60s or 70s? Okay.
So, like I noticed, like even with the fashion, the younger fashion, they're always like trying to reminisce about like the clothing of the 60s or the 70s. Have you guys noticed that, or is it just me?
No, I have.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like what you're saying is that, I mean, just in context of this, is that the kids today don't have an identity, so they take from everything else. Like they try to dress like the '80s, the '90s, or early 2000s or something like that. Like they have no identity.
Yes,
So
and that is a big reason why we're currently like this is a spiritual war. Obviously, like we're currently experiencing what it's like to live under the dark feminine, where everything is unhealed, everything is emotion based, and like, have you guys ever watched Insidious?
Yes, but I forget what happens.
Okay, there's there's like this one scene where like the mother of Parker, which is one of the like it's a demon that was a human before. So the mother of Parker actually tried to like make Parker like a man and a woman instead of a man. She kept on dressing Parker as like a woman, and it was because she was it was in spite of her husband who left her. So
wow.
that's
Interesting.
I don't want to like say anything to get you guys banned or anything, but like
Let's
that's
go.
something to do with
Let's go. Let's go. Nah, YouTube takes us down. It's over, bro.
Yeah,
We got
you're right about
pages
that.
we're on right now, so we gotta chill out.
YouTube, I'll suck your dick, YouTube. Whatever it takes, please just let us survive. Come on, man.
What's that chick's name? The CEO? What's her name? I forget her name, but she's like, I forget her name. Something. I don't know. She has like a weird like Jewish name or something like that. Nothing against Jews.
Say the J word.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's her name. I think she is Jewish. I'm not trying to
Ooish. They're ooish. Take the J off.
Ooish.
I mean, I can't even say if she is or not. No.
I don't know. You can, but be careful. That's the hot word around it.
I know, right? No, for real. Let me ask you this, Rosita. What do you think about? I mean, you're single, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about the dating market of like past like couple of years? Like, has it been different? Maybe like 5-10 years ago versus now as a woman?
You're asking the wrong girl because like I've never had a boyfriend, never really had the desire to have a boyfriend.
What?
Been more like in the casual fling, poly stuff.
What? Amazing.
I mean, like, do you have like friends who date and things like that? Like, do you see anything different now than what it used to be before?
I mean, I don't. No, I have friends who like are married, and I have friends who are in a stable relationship, and I have friends who are like, in polyamorous relationships. So it's kind of balanced from my observation.
Tell us about the poly stuff, because that is the hot topic anymore. Everybody's talking about this.
That is true. What do you guys? Well, yeah, we'll all talk about that. But as a woman, what do you think about the polyamory stuff? Like, is that like do you see it happening, or is that your thing, or not your thing, or would you ever do it, or?
The poly stuff, it's complete and utter degeneracy. And this is like I'm talking about my experience as well as like observing people around me. Like I have this friend who was in a poly relationship, and they proposed, and they were set to get married, but the woman cut it off. And now she's like married with a man, and they have a child together. So it's like it doesn't work. Like it's that dark feminine stuff again. Like it's a woman who like it's like going with the flow with no direction. Does that make sense?
Well, I noticed. So when it comes to the whole polyamory, I noticed that women are not really into it, but men are. At least what I see nowadays. Why do you think that there are women who are not really into a man having multiple women?
I don't know. I don't know enough people to like comment on that kind of stuff.
Why don't you have a man with other women who has other women? You personally?
Because I'd get jealous, and I wouldn't take the relationship as seriously as like a normal relationship.
Let me ask you this: let's say you found a man, he was everything that you wanted, and he can take care of you, he can provide for you, roof over your head, food to eat, and he's just doing exceptionally well in his life. And he told you, he said, "Hey, I'm gonna be with you. I want to be with you, but just know that I'm gonna have." Now, mind you, I'm not condoning this. I'm just trying to just see what
Hypothetical, right?
Yeah. So it's like he's very wealthy. He can take care of you. But he tells you, "Hey, I'm gonna have other women," but he's taking care of you though. Would you be okay with that?
No, not now, not anymore. Like now that I've like matured a bit more, and no, I want like a traditional relationship.
Oh my gosh, guys! I wasn't on Julius's page. I was on the Age of Men page. I didn't even see we have people over here. What's up, everybody? Hey, everybody else. I'm here now.
Yeah. Hold on, let me go ahead and check real quick. Hold on, let me see. This is all folks. This is live and direct. So I can't tell because I'm on.
All right, I'm gonna do a quick shout out to everybody that's out there. Billy Bag.
Live and direct. So I can't tell. Hold on. Sorry. There we go.
Billy Bag. Nay, what's up, girl? Hard Place. Grace. Billiard Bag. I mean, Antonis. And Mo, of course. What's up, girl? That's our TITM family. Dahlia. I think that's everybody. Ryan, what's up, y'all? Thanks for joining. Welcome. What do you guys think of the show so far? Allow us to continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, real quick. So somebody asked Julius, how old are the three of you? I don't know if that's the passive aggressive question. Passive aggressive question, or like, are they? You know what I mean?
Well, hey, it's the age of men. That's what we're asking out here, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. I don't want to explain this every single time we have this podcast, but this is called the Age of Men. We're going to have controversial topics like this. I mean, yes, there's politics. Yes, there's that. But I mean, how many times can you say Biden sucks? How many times can you say Trump? How many times can you say Republican, Democrat? I mean, just how many times can you talk about that? It's like that gets so old. But who talks about relationships? I mean, that's like the thing nowadays is talking about relationships. And the deal between men and women, and we can. And matter of fact, we'll watch videos too, reactive videos and things like that. So back to what you were saying, Rosita. You were talking about not being in a polyamorous relationship because you want to be more traditional.
Hold on, I just got distracted because I was like reading someone's comment.
It happens.
No. Hey, all you guys in the chat right now who's watching, if you guys got questions to ask or comments, let us know, and we'll put your comment up on the screen. So any interaction, it's all good. So we got one right here from Cheese. Sorry, you guys know where that come from. If you guys know where that came from, let me know in the comments below. The Cheese, that came from a movie. If you know that movie, I'll play a sound effect or something. It says women are inherently more naive and emotionally driven. It's just the nature of our gender. This is a good reason why women should never be president.
Oh,
base! Hold on, that was base.
Hey, from there, can I ask you a question, Rosita?
Go ahead.
How do you feel about a movement started by our homegirl and TITM affiliate, Sunni? It's called Repeal the 19th. And since you're from Australia, let me fill you in on what that means. The 19th Amendment is what allowed women in America the right to vote. And Sunni, our friend, a great stay-at-home military mother, has started a movement to repeal women's right to vote. How do you feel about that?
I mean, if you asked me 2 years ago, I'd be like, oh my God, you're a sexist. But if you ask me now, after everything that I've seen, I think maybe it could be a good idea.
Amazing.
How would that like, so.
I know. Hold on. I gotta go ahead. I'm trying to get it all together now. I'm like, what the heck? I'm trying to find it now.
Go ahead, Rosie. Go on.
Too late now. It's all good.
We're clouds over here. Don't let us interfere with what your train of thought was. Continue.
Wait, so does that mean only to like take away women's voting rights, or even women's right to work and stuff like that, or just voting rights?
Just put them all back in the kitchen.
Well, I would say no. Let's just stick with the right to vote for now, because that was an interesting answer. You're not saying that you would necessarily consider taking away women's rights to autonomy. You're just saying maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea if you took away the right to vote.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if it was taking away the right to vote, I'd happily give it up.
Wow, amazing! Ladies, take notes. Ladies, this is a real woman.
That was a base answer right there.
Bravo, young lady. Bravo. Well done.
The reason why, like, I think that, because, like, obviously the emotional stuff, but really, women are so much easier to brainwash. And I could say this as someone who was brainwashed. Like, I told you guys, like, 3 years ago, I was, like, a left-wing socialist. And it's because, like, I believed in the whole, like, utopia fairy tale that comes with socialism. And the worst part is that these people, the people that are running the show, like, have a Department of Education where they teach you what they want you to know. Does that make sense? So you're going into an indoctrination camp, and then you're coming out of it thinking that you're really onto something because, like, your professors or whatever, your college degree has, like, verified this for you.
Yes.
In order for you to validate your thoughts because a professional gave it to you. And, like, I always say this, but, like, intellect does not translate to wisdom. So, like, when I've traveled to, like, 11 countries now, or maybe 12, I've forgotten. But most of the world is conservative. Most of the world, like, has family values in place. No matter if they're a socialist country, communist country, I've been to a couple of them. But, like, most of the world, like, it is, the man is the hard worker and the woman stays at home. So
somebody said, I agree. Women never a president. Women's right to vote. I would stand up for my right. So I agree. Women never a president. Women's right to vote. I would stand up for my right. So, but no, I like your answer. I like it. I like the fact that you can understand where that's coming from, because I mean, if you look throughout history, we never had a female president. The closest we got is a vice president with Kamala Harris, and look at the job that she's doing. So imagine her as president. It'd be like, hold on, play a sound effect. It would be like, I'm like trying to get it good here. Look, this is a one man army over here, man. That's why we gotta get a team of people to do sound effects and things like that. So
you're doing great, buddy. Bear with us, folks. You can see the potential here.
I know. Don't worry. We'll get to it, guys. I'm trying to get all the sound effects and do it right, but until we get a soundboard, it'd be a lot easier to just press the button. But for now, I'm working it over here, so I apologize about that. But yeah, that's interesting though. That's interesting. I would just say that I agree, because women do tend to vote with their emotions if you think about it. You know what I mean? So I think the issue is that when you hear about taking away a women's right to vote, they think it's like a patriarchal thing, but they don't realize that lots of women are actually on board with that. Matter of fact, even when it first came around, you had women. There's a video on YouTube, you can find it. You had women who were like they didn't care whether or not they had the right or not. Like, they like to be at home and take care of the kids. And then it just got so radicalized and feminized to where now they all got to be bosses. They all got to be CEOs. They all got to wear a pantsuit. Like, it just got super weird.
Well, I want to ask Rosita how she feels about that. Like, working
Can I
women.
ask a question though? Before you, sorry.
Yeah.
So let's just like hypothetically say the 19th Amendment was repealed. How would that, like, in the timeline that we're on right now, where America is like in so much debt that like a family, like mom and dad, can't provide. I mean, and like inflation's like a problem too.
Yeah, you're saying it's like putting a Band-Aid on a giant gaping wound or something, right? Is that kind of maybe what you're asking? I understand, and I would frankly agree with you there. We've got some dire things that we got to deal with right now. However, that said, I will say that I started off as a joke alongside Suni, just kind of laughing at it, thinking it was like a trolling thing. And the more that we were out on TikTok, especially instigating people into like coming on my lives with me having it in the background, and these women would flip out. I mean, you should see some of the stuff that they would just come at me with right away. And that wasn't me. I didn't even say anything to them. And then Suni eventually like drops the bomb on them. It's not even his movement. I made it. How you feel about that? You're going to give me the same smoke? And anyways, through enough experiences of that, and then just in a lot of other ways, like Bambi she was just talking about me earlier today. Apparently Maria's hitting me up saying she was defending me. It's just, there's so many things that when there's a super intelligent seeming woman as you, who would probably deserve the right to vote, unfortunately, from my latest experiences, it doesn't seem like you guys are going to outweigh the obvious detrimental damage that women that are voting like that would do. So unfortunately, I think all the women probably got to lose the right to vote. Wouldn't be what could it hurt at this point is what I would say.
But this is okay. So another thing so there's two other questions that I have.
Okay.
Let's just say that women did lose their right to vote. Do you think that like men wouldn't, like, statistically speaking, do men vote like poorly at all, or
excellent question?
That's a good question.
So that's one of the big Suni's big talking points on this is, since women have earned the right to vote, literally correlation on the voter turnout for women compared to big government spending. Women vote for government. They want assistance from the government. They need basically women need to be taken care of and provided for and protected in nature. Okay, that's why a man is important. However, nowadays such a system has been built by men, by the way, for them, that they're safe now, or they feel like they're safe by eliciting funds from the government or forcing people to give more taxes to the government or whatever. It's just kind of an inherent part of their nature, I think. And if you understand that, in my opinion, anyway, strong opinion, government is always kind of, despite its best intentions, becoming more bloated, less effective, more corrupt, all sorts of things. So you got to have as little government as possible for me. I don't want more government. I want less. So when I look at it like that, it's not to say that there's not men that are voting poorly. I would also suggest that we need a litmus test for people before they should be able to vote. Because Socrates said, even the most well-intended voter, if he doesn't know how the system's supposed to operate, is doomed to destroy it. So we need some stuff like that too. So men, I would say beta males probably shouldn't have the right to vote either.
Okay, what about like in the current cultural climate? I don't think that like even a majority of like conservatives would agree with that anymore. So how would you like? I think that the best way to work around like taking away voter rights from women would actually be to to instead change the amendment to like something like you have to be very knowledgeable about the political system and what you're voting for, what the outcome of that vote for is. And
so a litmus test, like I was
instead of like taking away the women's rights, because I don't see that happening because of like how brainwashed everyone is.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
I know, right? Make me governor and watch what happens.
You're up against like over 300,000. 300. How many people do you guys have like now? 33 million
in America.
350 million or something. 340.
No, 329 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys are up against like an entire
army of raging feminist crazy bitches. Yeah, I know, but that's why we need to take away the right to vote. Like, you don't like tamed.
Right now, not so much, because like it's not the right timing. You have to be like strategic. You have to like just change how the voting system works.
I think we're doomed if they get to keep voting as is.
I had a friend tell me, it's a female friend of mine. I had her tell me that because she gets it, the whole repeal of 19, she gets it, but she goes, instead of taking away women's rights, why not take away the women's rights who vote Democrat?
She's getting there. She's getting close.
I know. I'm like, you're halfway there. You're halfway there. That's totally fine.
Oh man, that takes me back to something weird. So just to get back on the polygamous thing real quick, because again, I feel like this is such a touchy big topic right now. Everybody's talking about it. And did you say that? And you can tell as much or as little as you want. But did you say that you kind of did some poly stuff or whatever?
Yeah, that was actually like the last guy I slept with, which was like 2-3 years ago now. Haven't touched a man since. He was.
Wait, hold on. Wait. You say you haven't touched a man since?
Stop the cap.
No dates. I'm not going.
I actually kind of believe her. I tend to believe her. That was funny as hell. But so what about that man or that relationship or whatever left you with such a bad impression, or I thought of it?
Oh, that wasn't. It's actually something that I don't really want to talk about because it has something to do with me. But
okay.
I don't know. Should I say it? Like,
yeah, girl, get it out. It'll help.
Well, hold on.
Listen. You'll help people if you feel compelled to say it or you're questioning it. Maybe I should. People could take from this a lot more than you realize. So
yeah, it's totally
hold back because you're worried about anything besides what you might not want to reveal personally for whatever personal reasons. But I would encourage you to say whatever.
Yeah, well, let me go ahead and just make this clear. So anybody that comes on this podcast, male or female, if you got a story you want to tell that can resonate, it's totally up to you. You don't got to go too deep and too personal, but, if you want to tell your story, go ahead,
just be transparent. Say it, girl. Just say it already.
Okay, so the last time I was sleeping with someone, it was around the time. Okay, hold on. Let me backtrack. So when I was a kid, I was molested twice. The second time, it was bad. It was worse than the first time. So the last time I was sleeping with someone, it was a couple of like weeks after the person who molested me died, and that memory came back and like haunted me like while we were doing
Intimate.
it.
I understand.
So I spoke to one of my best friends about it, and he was like he really validated like why he really he pointed out, holy shit, Rosie, that's why you've been so dysfunctional throughout most of your relationships, like romantic relationships. It's because I was suppressing that memory, and because of who it was, and the role they had in my life.
I get it. It was trauma and you couldn't face it because that person had a significant factor or role in your life. So because of that, you feel that relationship kind of went sour at that point. But you seem to have a serious, I believe the word was, you said it's degenerate or something like that about polygamy. How did that come to be, that mindset when you were in a polygamous relationship with him?
I mean, wait, when I was, or after?
Well, now you seem to be quite.
I was just like I was a fish swimming in the ocean. I didn't care. I didn't.
She did.
Hold on.
Love it.
My cam just fell.
That's so funny.
God said, quit talking. Quit telling that story.
Polygamy's good.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, God bless God. So I don't want to be all, I'm not trying to be weird over here.
Yeah, but take your time. But Rosita, I don't want you to lose your train of thought there. Like how you came.
I'll add to that, and I would argue that I would argue that people who go through traumatic things in their lives tend to act, I guess, quote unquote, act out because of it, maybe without even knowing it. But I mean, they are conscious to know what's going on. But I would think that, especially women, when women go through stuff, they tend to do things that they never thought they would, but they almost feel like it's normal based on what was done to them.
It's trauma based. Everything's trauma based in this world, man. All of our behaviors are due to trauma or lack thereof that you go through.
Yeah.
So Rosita, what do you remember what you were saying before you
no, I don't,
sweetly knocked over your camera? It was funny to watch.
No, I don't remember what.
You were explaining how you got to the point that now you think polygamy is degenerate and despicable and whatnot. But I find that interesting because I know most women think that nowadays, but you happen to say that you were in a polygamous relationship.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
I mean, I think I would the reason why I had that epiphany is because I looked at myself and I compared myself to my friends who are either happily married or they're now in a happy relationship, and it's something that I don't have. And I'm 30 years old now. So it's I was,
Wait, how old are you? Wait, how old are you? You said what?
30.
30?
I knew he was doing that.
So it's and then you have I was a part of the culture where, you're just sleeping around and you're not tied to anyone, and then you don't have anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen people who have chosen not to be in a stable relationship in my life, and they're always whining about something. They're always unhappy. They're always saying, oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I'm missing something. It's you
unfulfilled.
It's unfulfilling. It's because you can have all the material things that you want. You can have a good career. You can have a good house. You can buy shit and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the happiness does not translate to purpose. So that's what they're missing.
So let me ask you this. Do you think it's better to be in a monogamous relationship or a polygamy relationship?
Monogamous.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting for sure.
Well,
And that's me saying that after having like seen both, like lived one side and wanting now to steer more toward the other.
So
Because
what
feel
is,
it makes people happier.
well, what is it exactly about the polygamy that you think is so like unappealing? Because I know you said the jealousy thing. Is that all of it, or is there more to it that led you to think this way, or what?
Because it's like you guys, like, you know about the 7 deadly sins, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's lust. It's lust and pride.
How so? How so?
Well, obviously lust, because like you're just like how do I word this? You're
banging a bunch of broads.
Yeah,
without
But
I wouldn't call that lust though, because I mean, I would say if those women know they're in a relationship with that guy, I wouldn't call it lust. I would call it a cheating lust. Like if a guy is cheating on a girl, I would call it more of a lust because he's looking to go get something, you know, that he's not getting with his main girl. But with polygamy, I would say that if each woman know that they're in a relationship with him, I wouldn't call it a lust thing.
I see what she's saying, but explain more, Rosie. I want to make sure I'm understanding you first before I say anything.
So like the reason why I think it's the sin of lust is because it's just about pleasure. It's not about like the end goal of like what sex is. It's not about birthing a child. It's just about making yourself happy. Do without wilt kind of mentality. Does that make sense?
That's, yeah, Aleister Crowley kind of. I'm with you on that. However, I could see, and I've heard a couple people make the compelling argument, including a woman or two, that it's a very beneficial structure to develop a family, and then eventually that, I mean, you could foresee that if it was done successfully enough and effectively enough to become like a community, and then maybe a nation, or even who knows. I mean, I'm just like being the extreme here, but you know how they say like it takes a village to raise a kid or whatever. That's the argument they make, and if the man's capable to provide that kind of life for those women, and those women are sooner willing to deal with him, who's of a higher class, than to be monogamous with some bum on the streets, which women often say that they would rather be like one of the women in like the king's harem before they're going to be with like the homeless guy. That seems like it could be successful to me. I'm not like being a proponent for it or anything, but I could see it working if only the man's strong enough to regulate the women properly, and the women aren't sabotaging of it with the jealousy and whatnot. Which would I mean, easier said than done. Trust me, I'm not saying like that's an easy thing to figure out, if at all. It's figure out.
But that can tend to happen though too, because you will have women who, even though they all know what's going on, they're still kind of jealous because it's like he sees how much. It's almost like having kids. You have a bunch of kids. One kid's getting more attention than the other one. The other one gets jealous. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like
I'm gonna hit you guys with a hot take. All right, okay. Buckle up for this one. I've been lately saying that because my buddy Trey, he's hilarious, man, but he's smart and he makes like compelling arguments you don't see coming for polygamy. He's a big proponent of polygamy, and he certainly lives it. Like that's a fact. But he keeps like over time, he's more and more made sense to me in some ways. And I haven't necessarily. I've had like multiple girls at times before or whatever, and I'm not up for monogamy at this point because I feel like that gives the woman the ability to use sex as a weapon and leverage it against you, which will emasculate you in her eyes, and then she'll end up leaving you or dumping you anyways and fucking another guy. So I haven't like been monogamous like that for a while, but I've not been like a guy where I'm like trying to have a bunch of women all working together polygamously or nothing like that. And I started thinking about it more and more after the talks with Trey and all this. It's always popular. Everybody else is talking about it. I think, and it would take a very certain kind of guy to do this. I don't think many, if any, could pull it off. I like to think I maybe could, but no guarantees here. It could crash and burn. But I think I could maybe make a system like that work if I had a rating system for my women, a ranking system, let's say weekly or whatever. Oh, you're number one wife this week. You're number two, you're number three, number 4, 5. And your behavior dictates where you're at and the treatment you'll get and the perks and the whatnot. And if you're number 5 or whatever, well, instead of sleeping in here with us tonight, you're in the guest bedroom down the hall for the week and things like that. And I think that would keep the women having to compete with one another to be on their best behavior. They would want to be more for me and for the family. And
I mean, who's to say that? Who's to say that men are not doing that now?
Well, they
I
are,
mean,
but
like,
they just do it
okay.
silently behind the scenes because
Yeah.
they can't do it out loud because the women will not accept that. But just probably doing it a lot. Yeah, trying to.
Yeah.
Rosita, what
You
do you
don't
think of
know
that? What do you think of
women,
that?
do you? You don't know them very well at
What's
all. Like,
that?
have you ever been in a group of women?
Sure, I know that's what I'm saying. It would be. I'm
I
not saying
mean,
it's doable. I'm not saying it would work. It could crash and burn
It
very.
won't work. There's no way. Like, I'm not the type of girl that has a lot of girlfriends because they're a fucking headache.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. If I
right.
could choose to be gay, if gay was a choice, I would just date one of my guy friends and never have to deal with women's craziness again.
Super sus.
Yeah,
That should be a
women,
sound
I say that
effect.
all the time.
Super sus.
Even women
Oh,
can't stand
God.
each other. Women aren't even friends with each other. So I'm so glad, Rosita, you're a breath of fresh air, girl. You do come from down under. You're upside down in a good way.
Oh, Lord.
Amazing.
I'm upside
Well,
down
listen.
in a variety of different ways.
So hold on, wait. hold on. Stop the tape.
What'd you say? I missed it.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and play some videos. We're gonna react to some videos and talk about it, and then get some takes on it. So I actually want to go. Before I get to this, let me ask this: how do you guys feel about dating apps? And like, what do you guys think about that?
Are you vaccinated?
No, in fact,
No, that should be the first question on everybody's Tinder profile. Are you vaccinated?
Hey, here would be my answer. Tell me how well received this would be by you. Not only am I not vaccinated, my friend and I actually started a company called Juliusqgiles. The next Bitcoin will be unvaccinated sperm. Juliusqgiles.
Oh my God. I'd delete and I'd burn my. No, I wouldn't burn my phone. I would throw my phone in the water.
You don't think that's so smart? Then you're disqualified from me, so I'm glad you deleted. No, for real. What I think about it is I've never used them personally. I don't like the idea because women already have all the sexual leverage. They control who has sex when or whatever. And why would you give them the capability to swipe left or right and just choose which dick they want to fuck that day? Like, as if they don't have enough leverage already. I'm not participating in that.
Yeah, let's keep it real, man. We know what Tinder is, bro. Tinder and all these dating apps are just people trying to have. Look, they're trying to have sex. But that's all it is. Everybody wants to have sex. The problem, but here's the thing, though, about these dating apps. Most women still pick men the same because they're looking for that top quality man. Now, are there women that would sleep with the bottom of the barrel men? Maybe, because they are the bottom of the barrel themselves. So women who are not attractive will find those guys bottom of the barrel. They want the top Chad and this and that. They'll search for a Kyle or something like that.
Nick down the block. You feel me?
Yeah, they'll Nick down the block. They'll definitely look for him. And so, but it's still the same judgment though, because I think what I understand. Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, and Rosita, if you heard this as well as too. Men swipe right more than women do. Women actually swipe right less because they're all looking for the top tier guy. And so usually that's the reason why you get to a point where women will say all men are trash because they're usually dating the same type of guy.
And they only notice that high value man, which by the way, they should. I'm not hating on them for that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it at all.
So high value good, that should be what you do, and that is what women do. But because of that, the large majority of men are literally non-existent, basically unnoticed, unaccounted for, uncared for. And again, you should fuck them. Like they're not worth anything to you guys. But because of that, I think that can definitely sometimes skew how women might see men. Because they're all looking at a high class of men that women typically have the leverage in relationships, unless and until a man, through a lot of hard work over a long lifetime, slowly proves able to get to that high class of men perceived by women. And at which point that man kind of has the leverage now because there's all kinds of women that want him, all kinds of beautiful women all over the world. And so women can sometimes get treated badly by them or overlooked, taken for granted, all that. And they then skew all men. They tend to perceive all men that way. Like the polygamous thing, that's a big thing amongst high value men. They're just like, why would I commit to you? I'm the one with the value. If you take it or leave it, I'm not going to be monogamous to you. Take it or leave it. I have plenty of girls that want to be with me right now. So that's something that you might have to accept, like the higher value man you start to get to, or you could acknowledge that that's the case. And if you really require monogamy at the top of your list, that's a deal breaker no matter what. You're probably going to have to start being more realistic and settling your sights on men that aren't of that higher class, middle to lower class. It's not necessarily plenty of men out there make $45,000 a year. That's the national average. If you want a monogamous man to that point, just be more realistic and start looking at those kind of men instead of the men that like at the highest level possible.
Yeah. So, Rosita, let me ask you this: if you were to look for a man, I don't want to say look for a man, but if you look for a man today, what would be your ideal man? Like, what would be the kind of man that you're looking for, ideally speaking?
Could it be a guy like Julius?
Well. Listen, I'm not the ideal.
Oh, do you see what I did?
Nick's always trying to hype me up, bro. Nick's always trying to hype me up, bro. You gotta chill out.
I'm looking at it right now.
I'm just kidding.
No.
No. Hey, God bless you, Nick. So, Rosita, what would be your ideal man? Like, if you had to, if you were wanted to meet the right guy, what does he have to have? What qualifications does he have to have in order to like take you out on a date?
Like, the thing is that I genuinely don't know right now.
Because you said you don't qualify many men. You haven't really had a boyfriend ever, right?
No.
Well, you know what, then, Nick? I think it's time we do the dating scenario.
Yeah. Okay, so folks, let me set this up for you guys. You're in for a treat tonight.
Well, explain what it is, and then we'll go ahead and do the whole thing. So for all you guys watching, real quick, Nick had this fantastic idea on Instagram Live. If you guys follow Nick on Instagram Live, do follow him, C3 Nick. He had a fantastic idea on Instagram Live. We did this scenario. We was on a date. It was me and this other woman. We were on a date, and we were seeing how things play out. It was fantastic. So, Nick, go ahead and explain that, and then we'll go ahead and do it.
Yeah, it's just a hypothetical, and there's no pressure of having to answer truthfully necessarily, okay? This is not necessarily based on you or anything. You don't have to make it any more or less personal than you want to. You can actually even be a character, play a role totally. That was kind of fun last time. Julius developed the most epic character I ever imagined. It was better than so good. But let's set the scene here. Are you down for this, Rosita?
You know what? I'm just open to whatever, just like the feminine is.
Beautiful, sweetheart. Great answer. All right. So, what's the scenario here? Oh, you know what, Rosita, you as the lady, what would be like some way that you would find to be a appealing first date? What would the scene be, or any thoughts on that?
You're gonna hate me for this one. I
Hit
know
us. Hit us.
A nice vegan restaurant. I don't know. As long as there's like
man, Julius might have a hard time doing that, but
I mean,
Julius, will you allow it for this scenario?
She's like, where is he? I called him twice. He didn't answer his phone.
Okay, let's just do a nice high-end restaurant that's at least like farm friendly or whatever they call it, right? Something like that. Something that's
plant-based
for you without help.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, great.
Okay, well, hold on. How about we make it a date that's not food? How about a date that's not food? Just on a date, just
but like food is a big part of it. Like, okay.
Yeah, no, we have to do the food actually. The more I think back to the last one, because that was the epic part. There was a couple scenarios that come up, whether it's a check or let's just
okay, for sure.
So we'll put the ball in Julius's court. You're just walking up to the table. This young lady's there. Go on.
So, am I meeting here for the first time, or we actually already know each other? Like this, like a first time thing?
No, first time, totally fresh. You maybe had a quick interaction in public, or somehow met randomly.
And then she's just sitting there.
Well, maybe you're sitting there first, and then she shows up. You exchanged a couple of text messages and made a date, and now you're at the date.
Okay, so I'm trying to get it all clear. So I'm at the restaurant. I'm sitting down. I'm waiting for her to show up.
Perfect. Yeah. And Rosita just walked in, and she sat down.
Okay. So she just walked in. I would say, hey, what's up? How you doing? I get up, and then I give her a hug.
Rosita, you would respond.
That would be a very awkward hug because I'm weird.
Okay. Well, nevertheless, how would you respond?
I would obviously I'd hug, and then we sit down.
He said, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. But basically, I'll say, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And I get up by the fire, and then I just give you a hug, and then
Just
pull your
respond
chair
to
out.
it. Just have a convo. Hey, how you doing? He said.
I'd say thank you for pulling my chair out, and then
Aw.
I'd ask, um, so what cheese do you like?
Depends on the cheese.
I like the plant-based cheese.
Interesting. Okay, so you're into plant based.
Yes,
Oh, right on.
and I like
Okay,
the vegan meat as well.
cool. What got you? What got you into vegan?
Animals, basically. I
What do
care
you mean by
about
that?
animals
Good
in my
answer.
taste
Okay.
buds, so
Okay, so you care about animals.
yeah.
Right on. What's your favorite animal?
Squirrel and deer.
Interesting.
Although I've
Squirrel and
never been
deer.
there before. What's your favorite animal? Do you have a favorite animal?
I would love to have a dog.
What kind of
Uh,
dog? This
a
is
golden
important.
a
You
golden
have to like
retriever.
that. I hope that you like the breed of dog that I do.
I mean, I want a golden retriever because I like Airbud.
What about a husky? Do you like huskies?
Yeah, I actually like huskies.
Huskies are the best. They talk back to you.
So, what do you do for work?
Do I actually have to give a legitimate?
No. Hypothetical, if you want. You don't have to do your real life.
I work at an herb place.
Herb
Herb
place.
This place.
Okay.
What kind of
So,
herb? No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I know.
Don't
What kind
mind
of
me.
herb you talking about? No, I'm like, okay, yeah, herb place. That's
Bukkake
pretty
over
cool.
here? No.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
What about you?
How-
What do you do for work?
So I'm actually a shoemaker. My parents were in the shoe business when I was younger, so they taught me how to make shoes, and now we're number one selling shoemaker on the planet. We sell shoes all around the world.
Are you a billionaire?
Actually, we're almost there. We're about to hit $1 billion by the end of this year.
Nice. I like that because I like
Yeah.
rich men.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Okay. So,
Okay,
okay.
Weird.
So you said that you like rich men. Like, I mean, is that what you're into? Are you into rich men, or are you? What's up
I
with
mean,
that?
obviously, like you want security. Let's be real. And I'd say that on a date too.
That's a good answer, by the way.
Interesting. What if I lost my billions?
Interesting question.
Well, why would you lose your billions? What did you
Let's
do?
just say bad inflation. It just something went wrong policy wise. In the politics.
Okay, so why didn't you have a plan B? I would.
Well, what if I did have a plan B? Like, let's say I have, I'm close to billion, but I got money. It's just that my business is not going to be closed due to politics and things like that. So I got like backup money, but it's just now my business is going to be closed. I have to kind of go find it, start from scratch elsewhere. Like, what would you do in that situation?
Well, that's pretty cool. What else do you want to like try to accomplish in your life?
Well, the shoemaking is the family business. So when we have that all around the world, and so I was just curious to know if you would still date me, or if I lost all my money, would you still date me, or would you not date me because you don't have that security no more?
I mean, of course, I like if you like. Let's just say we're on our 5th date or something. Yeah, I'd probably still date you because yes, security is important, but like, also just because some policies or inflation is going wrong doesn't mean that you're a complete failure all of a sudden. So
Okay, cool. I appreciate your answer. I was curious to know about you, Rosita, because you seem like a very lovely person. I'm glad you came out on this date. Do you have guy friends?
most of my friends are guys, but we don't really like, we don't talk to each other that much. We just send each other memes. That's about it.
What if I felt uncomfortable with you having guy friends, and I was like, hey, I got a bad feeling. I know these guys may like you. They want to bang you. Would you give them up to keep your relationship with me?
I mean, if the relationship is going pretty good, then yeah. Especially since like there's like most of my guy friends and I are like distant and casual anyway. I don't see the big problem.
Wow.
Okay. You want to get out of here?
Yeah. Great answer, Rosita. Yeah, Julius. I was thinking the same thing. Just close this right now. Close this deal.
Check, please.
That's incredible. Okay, we're gonna reset here. We're gonna go back. You guys are doing
Yo, hold on. That one deserves a hold on. That one deserves a Dr. Marco. There, bro. Hold on. Let me get that Dr. Marco.
Hey, folks, we will get the sound effects in a timely manner sooner or later. Trust us. We're working through the
Yeah.
But Julius,
that was actually a really good answer. I like that answer a lot because listen. You and I can listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a f what you do with your career and stuff like that. Men don't care about that. But it's a good conversation. But the fact that you said that you'd be willing to give up your guy friends if the relationship's going well, I mean, I do. I mean, that's a little iffy answer for me. Like if it's going well, it's a little iffy. But the fact that you would commit to that, I like that answer because most females would not give up their guy friends because they know that they're keeping their back burner in case something goes wrong. So let's say you and I are dating and something goes wrong with the relationship. Now you got David to turn to because he's been there just waiting around until, he twiddling his thumbs like, man, I hope one day I'm her friend, but one day.
Friends
and the next thing you know, he was so mean to me, David. Oh, I would never do that to you. I'll treat you so right. I'll never do what he did. He's lying to you just to get into your pants. He was like, you want to come over and hang out? And you're like, oh, I can't tonight. Oh, are you sure? You sure? And starts to get desperate. You sure? I mean, I'm not doing anything. Yeah, David, I'm good. Next thing you know, he's ghosted. He's no longer not even in the friend zone no more. So,
well, let me just say, I saw where Julius was going with this when he asked the question about the friends. And I thought for sure whatever answer you gave was pretty much it was going to be a disqualifier and the date was going to be over. And you said what you said. Well, yeah, I mean, if it was going well enough, I definitely would. And he didn't even just ask like about one. He asked any friends if I had one. And you were willing to do that for your man.
Dope.
Great answer. Take this, young ladies.
It's because of how I was raised and because like I've been in more than one culture in my life. Like I was raised in Iran, like I wasn't raised in Iran. I was born in Iran to conservative parents and an overprotective father. So even though he died when I was like nearly 19 years old, the things that I remember, like one of the things that I remember about my dad is there was this one time when we have a neighbor that came and started talking to my mom, and my dad saw the way that he was looking at her, and they went into the house and he said, don't ever speak to that man again. He was looking at you in a way. And I'll never forget that. Like, and
what kind of impact did that have on you?
It just like it opened up like my mind as to like how men work and like how like why my dad, like it made me think about why my dad was so overprotective of me before he passed away. And even though I've had mostly friends, like male friends in my life, I always like kept a distance for that reason. Because
smart.
Like I know, like based off of something that my dad said to my mom, like that just stuck out to me.
Incredible, girl. I'm so glad you revealed that for us because I've made it a point many times and we've discussed it on a few shows here now. Men, if they're straight and if they're single, but even if they're not sometimes, are first and foremost trying to get in your pants, ladies. Okay? Period. Primarily, that is their motivation. There might be some general outliers. I'm not saying every single male this applies to, but pretty much, generally speaking, far and away, if they're a young, healthy person especially, they're trying to get with you that means have sex. Everything they're doing is motivated by that. Everything. And you'd be amazed at the lengths some men will go to, lying, whatever, to try to deceive you just to get laid.
Yeah. And those guys we call nice guys. We call those guys nice guys because nice guys, I would argue, are the ones that would lie to you just to get into your pants because, again, and guys who act like that are guys who have no options. When men have no options and nothing going on in their lives, nothing driven, no ambition, no nothing, no purpose, then when they do get with a girl, they want to be the best guy for them. So they'll tolerate their intolerance in order to have a decent relationship. And a woman can see that miles away. The moment she sees that, she's only going to use you for one thing, and that's usually sex. And so she's going to get what she wants, but she'll give him sex, but not the kind of sex he's looking for, like simple missionary type stuff.
Dude,
and then she'll ghost him.
Alpha fuck or beta buck. You're one of these two things to a woman as a man. Alpha fuck or a beta buck. You can't be both. And if you ever become a beta buck, almost certainly she'll never see you as an alpha fuck again. And I'll quickly explain it too. Alpha fuck's a guy that is desired by a woman animalistically, instinctively, raw kind of attraction. She might not even realize that she's attracted to him or why she is, but there's something about her subconsciously that feels the need to procreate with him. That's what drives that factor. She will break rules for this kind of alpha fuck. She will do whatever. She will whatever you want. That kind of thing. Okay. Beta buck on the ultimate other side of this. She's never, ever attracted to this man sexually, animalistically, instinctively. She gives him as little sex as necessary to appease him for whatever ends that she's getting out of this situation. Whether that's him, being a beta, they call it a beta buck because he's providing maybe like the home or the car or the money or something like that. And she's getting as little sex and attention as she needs to keep that coming in. And meanwhile, she's like making rules for him while she's stepping out on him or dumping his ass to be fucking somebody she perceives as an alpha fuck.
Yeah. Matter of fact, here's what I'll do. I had this clip I'm going to show, but I actually want to share this one as well. Have you guys ever heard of the YouTube channel called It's Complicated?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. It's I don't even know his name, but he has fantastic content. I love his content. It's so good. I want to play his most recent one, but it's like very, very explicit because it's about adult videos. It's because he went to an award show and he can't really show a lot of stuff on YouTube, so it's on Rumble, but I can't show that because it's way too explicit for YouTube. I don't want to get in trouble for that.
I'll be right back. It's really hot out here, so I have to go and turn on my fan.
Rosita, I was just thinking the same thing. I got to do the exact same thing. It's hot as hell in my building for some reason right now. Go ahead.
Is it really?
Yeah, I don't know why. But while you're doing that, everybody in the chat's laughing at us for a good few minutes now.
Can we talk about real stuff on here, baby? We talk about bang it. No,
she'll make rules for the beta and break rules for the alpha, basically, is what you should take from that.
No, but to keep it real, like to piggyback on what Nick is saying, like, see, here's the thing. Most people don't even know this. Like, most guys don't even know this. Real quick, do I sound good? The microphone is too close? Do I sound more distorted?
You sound perfect. No distortion.
Okay. So most guys don't understand this. And I know sometimes, the red pill movement, the manosphere movement, a lot of guys tend to repeat each other with the same thing, but I'm just going to go off from my experience. I would argue that the reason why most men are not successful is because, one, they don't take care of themselves first. So what I mean by that is they're not going to the gym. They're not. I mean, I'm not saying I'm totally healthy with what I eat, but they're not moderating on what they're eating. You know what I mean? They're not focused on their drive, their purpose, and things like that. For me, every single day, I'm always working on my Instagram page. I'm always trying to work on how to put, what headline to put. That's going to be interesting. When I do my TikTok videos, I put those videos together as well. I'm constantly just staying busy on my phone, on my social media, trying to be as active as possible. I go to the gym every single day. Just being focused, and most men are not focused because they're too busy chasing the woman and not chasing the dream, and that's the problem. That's why it's always a nightmare. So most men don't understand it. That's why you got to understand that when you do get a girl, don't make her your everything. Don't put her first. The moment you put her first, she will put you second. Think about that. The moment you put her first, she will put you second.
Great line, Julius. Incredible. I would say that you have to have a passion in life, a purpose in life besides pussy. Not to be crass, But gentlemen,
No,
you
you're
need
right.
to have a purpose besides pussy, because guess what? That's what attracts the women. And if you don't, if pussy is your purpose, she's going to sense that, and she's going to use you to her ends, to the ends of the earth, as far as you'll let her. And she should, by the way.
Yeah.
And she should.
I mean,
You should
put it
have a
like
purpose.
this.
It doesn't make you simp like that to pussy. It's ridiculous. That's the least attractive thing to these women in the world.
I mean, put it like this. The moment you put a woman on a pedestal, when you put her up, she's looking down. Think about that. When you put her up, she's looking down. Women like to look up to men, not down to men. And the moment you put her on a pedestal, she's looking down. She sees how weak you are. It's like, look at this weak, pathetic fool just cherishing me. I haven't done nothing to earn this, and he's giving me everything. So you're validating her in however that saying goes, but you're basically validating her with no without her doing nothing. All she does is exist, and you validate her, and she sees that, and she will disrespect you. She will treat you wrong. I'm not saying it's all, but majority do act like this. They don't like weak men. They don't want weak men to validate them all the time. Even if you're married, they don't. I mean, it's okay to say, "Hey, your wife look nice, look beautiful." That's fine, your wife, whatever. But don't like simp for your wife. Don't simp for your girlfriend. Don't simp for women. I know simping ain't easy, but you can't be simping out here, fellas. You know what I mean? You can't be simping out here. So
you said something. I wanted to ask Rosita about what you said, see if she agrees or not. Man, what was it? When you look up to them.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you put a woman up, she looks down. When you put her first, she puts you second.
Okay, so you said a woman wants a man that she can look up to. Rosita, do you have thoughts on that statement?
It's true. This is what I've experienced with my own relationships. Whenever a man chases me, I want them less. Whenever I have to chase the man,
boom. Guys, another gem I got to drop on these young men. Okay, so I figured this out. Fell ass backwards into this in my life, and it led to a point where my friends and everybody else were kind of like, oh, my younger brother and shit, like, man, you're always getting all the hottest girls in school and stuff. How you doing this? And I'll tell you, as a young man, I noticed all these hot girls get all this sort of attention and validation and everything. People are coming with their tongues hanging out, obsessed with them. They turn every head they walk by. The world caters to them. It's like walking on a cloud. Just based on principle, fuck that. I'm not paying them no attention. That's bullshit. That's what I started thinking, my young, like, dumbass. And so I would just, like, ignore them and think like they don't exist. Pay them no mind unless they earned it from me somehow or something. But just,
yeah.
And guess what? I started noticing them noticing me. And the harder the woman, the more this applies, because the less she's ever been treated this way. So she starts thinking, who is that one man that can't be noticed or can't be bothered to notice I exist, let alone cater to me? Everybody knows I exist. I'm going to make him notice I exist. I'm going to make him want me. And if you play your cards right, you got yourself a fucking 10.
And let me go ahead and ask you too, Rosita, why is it that when the man chases you, you find him less attractive?
Because it's too easy. It's just right there. Like, I mean, I guess it's simpler that way, but...
Simpler. Everybody wants what they can't have. That's a psychological phenomenon that's understood. So they've done this study numerous times. They put a kid, 5-year-old kid or whatever, in a room packed with all the coolest shit that a 5-year-old kid could ever want to fuck with. And they're like, look, we're going to leave you in here alone. You can do whatever you want. There's no rules, except you can't touch or play with this. Just one random piece of trash, basically. They would just pick one random thing, and they would tell them, all this is yours to have fun with. Go nuts. It's a Toys R Us. But this is one thing can't touch that. That's the only rule. And they leave the room, and they have cameras, and these kids think they're unattended. And right away, every time without fail, that kid's just focused on that one thing he was told not to fuck with. And sure enough, like within moments, he's over there. He's obsessed with it. That's all he's focused on. Everything else in the room is unnoticed. And you just said it. That's why. Everybody's
that way. Remind you of a certain spiritual text that we were just talking about.
Please.
Adam and Eve. Eve walked toward the serpent and ate the forbidden fruit.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
It's like you can do everything else, but don't eat that apple. And all of a sudden, God's like, He's like, I want that apple so bad. I want that apple. Here comes the snake. He's like, yo, Eve. Hey, yo, Eve. You gonna listen to God, Eve? You gonna listen to? It's your body, your choice. You do what you want.
He's the tyranny. He's the patriarchy.
Yeah.
God's a toxic motherfucker.
Yeah. And then Eve was like, you know what? And then Eve said, you know what? You right. It's my body, my choice. Yeah. Pink pussy hats all day. And so she took the apple with her pink pussy hat and then she ate it. And then Adam came along and he was like, Eve, what you doing? And then she was like, Adam, eat this apple. He's like, nah, Eve. God said we couldn't do this. He's like, but Adam, you gonna listen to God? You can do what you want. Your body, your choice. You're your own man. Why are you doing what the man telling you?
Bitch, you're always talking to Eve. Just listen to me, damn it. And then eventually, after enough bad, Adam eats the apple and he becomes a beta overnight. It's
right. And then when we're naked, she's like, "Come on, Adam, you don't want to eat this apple, Adam?" He's like, "Eve."
He's like,
dude, I can't. God said I can't, but you tempted me, Eve.
Look, that ain't the only thing I'm gonna eat right now. Yeah, let's do it, girl. You know what I mean? Like, he ate the apple, he ate some other shit in beta. She's
like, you can have an apple and a pie.
Apple pie, baby. God. That's where the first apple pie came from. Actually, you heard it here first.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The first apple pie came from Eve.
That makes me think of The Rock's Poontang pie. You ever hear him do those skits? Like talking about
not in a long time, but I know you're talking about that.
I had some good Poontang pie.
Yeah, man. So I mean, that does. Yeah. So essentially, what you're talking about, Nick, is that metaphor as well. I mean, it's wild, bro. That's just how it is sometimes, though. You tell them not to touch something, and then they always want to touch it. It's amazing.
That's what she said.
But I mean, going back to what Rosita was talking about, I can understand what you mean because, see,
I'm gonna grab my fan.
Yeah, I would argue that women.
You already did.
I know. That's what I was thinking too.
I allowed you to go first, Rosita, so Julius didn't die on the vine out here alone because I've been there.
Like, I have a
serpent. Oh, look at that! Them dark forces on your chest. She got dark forces on the chest, bro. She over here talking about. She's like, that's why she tried to hide it. She's like, females have dark forces. They got these really dark forces. I mean, it's so crazy. These dark forces.
I missed it. What dark forces does she have on her chest?
Bro, she had the serpent, bro.
What the?
No wonder she was in this relationship.
That's why she knows her so well.
I know. The snakes every day was like, yo, just go ahead and be with him. He can have multiple chicks. It's okay.
This is a personal account. That's why
I definitely know the dark side very well.
Yeah. You know. Actually, we're making jokes of that, but who was it? Carl Jung, who's a very, very important psychologist. He had the notion that there's a dark side. I forget what he called it. But anyways, you need to like have intimate knowledge of that, having explored that and know yourself, know that dark side well enough, and then learn how to tame it because it's important.
The thing about like astrology that looked really bad, Nick.
What looked really bad?
Sharon, that serpent, bro. That serpent was like, "Did you see what he just did?"
What did I do? What did I do? What looked bad?
You were rubbing something.
It was the way you're rubbing it, bro.
I'm talking about when I turned up my volume like this.
Stop!
This Rosita.
She loving it, bro. She loving it. She's like,
if that's all it takes, hit me up on FaceTime later, girl.
All right, so let me see. I'm trying to find the video I'm going to react to.
I was going to say about like Scorpio.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm a Scorpio sun with a Scorpio Mercury. There's something that, like one of my friends, who's also an astrology nut, I'm trying to like paraphrase what she said. I'm echoing, by the way.
Oh, you're echoing?
Are we losing Rosita's? Yeah, I don't hear her now.
Uh-oh.
I hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So she said that like Scorpio can be the representation of like the serpent, or she can be a shaman. And something that is very overlooked with like Scorpio / the serpent is that Scorpio is ruled by 2 planets in astrology, Pluto and Mars. Pluto is a hell planet, and Mars is a war planet. So they're kind of like, in a way, they're both representations of the feminine and the masculine. So that's why I feel like I understand the masculine more than like most women, because like I have, not most women, but like the women that we're like up against, because like I'm not like some special case, you know, like there are women who understand everything that I'm saying, but like, yeah, I think
Well, you know what though? I noticed that it's mostly women who are into like astrology. I've noticed that a lot. Like I was watching the Instagram live earlier today, and this woman went live and was talking about zodiac signs. And I commented and said that I think zodiac signs are for narcissists. And she's and she goes, nah, because like here's how I break it down. I used to believe in that stuff, like, oh, I'm a Libra, I'm the balance, I tip the scales, just all weird stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like I realize now that it makes you a narcissist, because when you're saying, oh, I'm a Pisces, or I'm a Capricorn, I'm a Sagittarius, and because I'm a Sagittarius, I do this, I do that, I'm more calm, I'm more this. It's almost like you're one-upping yourself over somebody else based on what they are. So if I'm a Libra and let's say Nick's I don't know, he's a Capricorn, you know, like, oh, I'm the balance, but Nick isn't. Like, let's say I say I'm the balance, but yet Nick's the one balancing out this conversation. I'm like losing my getting too emotional with certain things. So it's like, am I really the balance, or am I just telling myself that because my zodiac sign said so? I was like, I gotta make myself feel good because my zodiac sign says I'm the balance. I'm golden. I'm special.
Well,
in reality, I'm just a human being.
Dude, I see what you're saying. There's probably a lot of people out there practicing it and using it just that way. That said, and in fact, let me preface this by saying when I was growing up, I was the opposite. I was like an astronomy kind of scientific kind of guy. And because of that, I overlooked or dismissed astrology as being some pseudoscience nonsense. And the more I grew up and learned, and then like Rosita, I would like you just maybe speak on it. It seems to me that there are things that, and I'm still trying to learn this from, it is often women that have the information, but things about like the star alignments and the zodiac signs, literally that if you're born under certain things at certain times, it's going to indicate that you're more prone or susceptible or probable to be this, that, or the other. Is that what it is, Rosita?
I mean, yeah, that's definitely one way to describe it, but the reason why I'm into astrology is because that's like ingrained in Zoroastrianism, and Zoroastrianism is about cosmology as well. So it's something to do with like my actual religion. But
I mean, would you agree that mostly females are into that?
Of course, because it's a feminine thing.
Yo, I gotta say this real quick too. This is a candid thing that just happened recently. If she watches this, she won't care because I'll make sure not to use her name. But,
Nick's about to drop a bombshell, yo. You're gonna drop a bombshell.
This is a for real pro tip again for you young men out there. All right, so these are just things that I've learned over time. I've fallen ass backwards into a lot of times, and I wish I would have known them when I was younger, like you guys. So take it or leave it, but here it is. I was talking to this chick on the phone, and we just kind of like know each other a little bit. We're not like, we've never even like met in real life or nothing like that. I mean, we're friendly. We're tight. She's cool. But anyways, I had gotten my birth chart from somebody, or I stumbled upon a birth chart that somebody printed out for me. And I was trying to like make sense of like one of the two things at the bottom. I was like, you look like you might be into astrology. Would you be able to help me like understand this thing here? And she said, yeah. And so like I ended up like doing some dinner and falling asleep and shit because she was like, let me read it real quick. And I like 30 minutes apparently go by where she's just like over there not talking to me. I fall asleep. And then when she comes back on the line, she says something like, yeah, so I got to be honest. And this is kind of embarrassing, but I've gotten wet from reading birth charts before, and I was like, all right, so what do you see in mine? And it just went from there. But anyways, if the chick seems like she's a hippie type chick or somebody that's into astrology, ask her to read your birth chart, because she's going to get to know you on this level. She thinks it anyways. She's going to I might be learning things about him that he doesn't even know about himself right now. And then I get to tell him about it, and he's open to hearing about it. Worked really well. Long story short,
So basically, you lied to her to get into her pants.
No, I just asked her to read my birth chart, man.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's all I did.
Not lie, but like you went along to get along, essentially. Like, oh yeah, check my birth chart.
I didn't mean to do it for that reason. I was just generally trying to understand like this one little word thing or this symbol at the bottom, and she was just like, "Oh, I love it. Let me read it." And so I just let her go up at it, like just doing my own thing for half an hour. Next thing I know, she's coming back wet, and yada yada yada. Nick ended it with a happy night.
Good for you.
Rosina, you think that's a good move? You think there's any truth to that? Possibly. Think about it. You're getting to know this guy on a level by understanding him through his like birth alignments and interpreting them, and then telling him about himself. And
I think it's all BS.
You're entitled to that, but it's not.
Well, whatever it is, it gets them wet.
I mean, but that's just how most women are. They're just emotional like that. They see something. Oh my god, he's into this. It's why most women like it when men become feminine. Like, oh, get in touch with your feminine side, because they get off to that for some reason. It makes them feel good. So it's like, look, the astrology thing when it comes to your religion, I can't speak on that. But I would just argue that women are more into that because it makes them. It strokes their ego. Like, oh, I'm an Aries. I'm a Pisces. So I like to, I'm always like, I can have conversations. I get other people, but a Sagittarius, oh, those guys are just weird. Like, they're always angry, and it's like, but look at how you're talking. You're talking angry right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense, man.
To be clear, there's merit in it. I think, Rosita, there is merit, but I think what Julius is saying is there are an awful lot of women out there that use it for some sort of like validation or some superiority complex thing for the wrong reasons. They kind of bastardize it in the eyes of us laymen who are sitting here, and then instead of somebody like you who actually understands the merit in it and lives your life by it, like you're like we should be naming and shaming these women, is what I'm saying. Let's get rid of them, so you're taken more seriously with it.
The women who say like, oh, just like say the sun sign of the person, that's like just a horoscope. It's just something that takes away the actual meaning of astrology. Like, it's not just your sun sign. It's
more complicated, more nuanced, right?
It's way more complicated than that. Like, you have to it's so intrinsically tied to you that you have to know the person's time of birth, and you have to understand the place that they were born.
Mm-hmm. My chart needed those details. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
There's a reason why, the chart needs the place that you were born. There's a significance in that, because you also have to take in the very you have to read about the cultural norms, the cultural history, and the present moment of the country that they were born, to understand how the culture of that country affects their birth chart. Does that make sense?
Yes, there's a lot more than that even, I could imagine, but I just realized the time, and we haven't gotten into any watching videos yet for reactions. You guys want to do that?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the audience has been engaging with us in the chat. So shout out to you guys in the chat. Hey, man, like this video, man. Share this video out. If you guys like what you're hearing, share this video out. We appreciate you guys, man. We're going to get into some videos and react to that. And you guys can chime in as well. So we appreciate you guys. We just want you guys to know. I mean, we've been talking for a long time, but I think we've been having decent conversations, some funny things about sex.
Let's talk about you and me.
Right? All right, let's get into it. Let me go ahead and get the screen share real quick.
What's the video we're watching, Julius? Any setup, or just watch it?
This video is from this is from Candace Owens. She posted a video 3 days ago. It's the matter of fact, we you and I actually were talking about the Believe No Women. It's the hashtag Me Too movement disempowered women from Candace Owens. We're gonna check that one out and then react to that and You guys get our thoughts, and we get your thoughts as well. So give me 1 second.
How long is it, bro? Do I have a chance to pee behind, or is it a minute long?
I mean, if you gotta go to the bathroom, then go use the bathroom.
All right. He's like, bro, don't ask permission. Come on, what the fuck?
No, wait till you get back, and then go ahead. Go use the
Go
bathroom.
ahead. I can listen. Trust me. I don't want to hold the show back.
All you hear is,
No, I'm muting.
and then the toilet flushes.
Stop!
You would hear a lot worse than that. It would actually be
So vulgar.
and then Nick's washing his hands.
No, you wouldn't hear that. You wouldn't hear that part. I don't.
All right, okay. For the video.
To me, disempowered women, because it said women never know what they're doing. They just are always little flowers and men take advantage. The truth is that women take advantage too. And the easiest thing for women to sell to get what they want is sex, right? Sex is a power that women have. Being beautiful is a power. Being aesthetic, being feminine is a power that women have. And women tend to wield that power heavily in society.
What do you guys think about that? I agree.
Rosita, how's that strike you?
I mean, do I even have to, I'm going to sound generic and say I agree as well.
No, you don't sound generic.
It's obvious.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too, because she talks about women who take advantage. See, and this is the thing too, because if you look at throughout history in America, from what I understand, women haven't had power as far as like presidency, things like that, or there's no like actual power women have held and things like that. So the moment you give them power, they would tend to maybe abuse it. I mean, you look at like the public school, the public education. You got females who are going on TikTok talking about how they're going to tell your kids that they're the opposite gender. I could be wrong, correct me, but I don't see men going on TikTok and or social media talking about how they're going to tell kids they're the opposite sex. I always see women, if not lesbian women, if not women who are now like trans men. It's always essentially women who are on these social media platforms talking about how they're going to demonically change your child's mindset.
Lesbians.
Lesbians.
Just before I got like my Twitter account locked, the last video I posted was me responding to a woman who says that she can grow a fucking penis.
Oh my! How'd you respond?
Oh, I saw. So I didn't watch that video, but I know what you're talking about. I saw somebody posted that. I was like, I'm not wasting my time watching this, bro. Like, honestly, look, real quick. I know people talk about these things, but I'm tired of people giving that attention. I really, truly am. I mean, people talk, so do what you gotta do.
You have to give it attention. You have to address it. You have to
No, I get that, but it's like, either you do something about it or you just keep complaining about it. Like, I just don't understand. I mean, I guess for me, it's like, I get it. They talk about it, but it's like the same old thing. Like, okay, obviously there's folks out there who are very, what do you call it? They're mentally ill. There's something wrong with them. They're mentally disturbed, and they keep talking about these weird things, like a female trying to grow a genital, essentially. And I'm just like, that makes no sense. I mean, obviously, it doesn't make no sense, but I don't know. I just giving that attention is just like.
But the reality is that you have to give it attention now because they are taking over. Like I'm applying for jobs right now, and they're asking, what gender are you? And they're asking all these weird genders.
I've seen that.
What? Wait. What kind of weird genders? What kind of weird genders?
So when you apply for jobs, so like for me, when I apply for a job, it will say gender, and then you like hit that little button, and it will say male, female, non-binary. Like, it's really weird, bro. I'm like, who?
What kind of non-genders, Rosita?
Like male or female, male or woman. Like, it's like non-binary, intersex, other, and then it gives you an option to say which other you want.
Yeah,
it's amazing. So Rosita, how'd you respond to that chick or whatever?
I mean, I just said women/female, but like the point that I'm making is that you can't ignore it anymore. Like, it's not just a TikTok trend. It's taking over. Like, it's coming into our schools. It's coming into the workplace, just like this COVID vaccine status bullshit. You can't ignore it anymore. Like,
well, let me go ahead and be clear. What I'm saying is this right here. I'm not saying to ignore the ones who are trying to indoctrinate the children. That's not what I'm saying to ignore. I'm talking about the person that's just in their home making the video for the sake of making the video to get that attention. I'm talking about those ones. So that's a waste of time. And they're just in their room being like, I'm this and I have all these pronouns. That is like a waste of time. But the ones who are actually taking little videos inside a classroom saying, I'm going to essentially indoctrinate your children, that's what folks need to be at and go show up to that school and say, this is wrong. Keep this person away from my child. Not the regular person who's just like, look at me on TikTok, but I'm a man and I love having girl parts. Like, that to me is a waste of time because clearly there's something wrong with that person. It's like, I just don't see a point. But yeah, the ones who are actually trying to take action, those are the ones you should go to that school and say, get this person fired because I don't want my kids to be known about this type of junk.
I see merit in both what you guys are saying. And in fact, I think you're both absolutely right. You should only exert your energies and efforts on worthy causes that can actually make a change. And I think Rosita, though, it sounds like you got some smoke or some backlash for doing that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason. Like, I'm pretty sure after, like, I've dealt with the tweets that I'm locked out of my account for, this online stalker I have is gonna like come back and report that video that I posted.
Beta male.
Yeah.
But so it's when that happens, it tells me that what did I say before this? You catch the most flack when you're nearing the target. You wouldn't get any smoke or any heat or anything like that if people didn't perceive you as some sort of threat. So great job. Keep it up. I know it's not necessarily rewarding or even acknowledged most of the time by people. In fact, it sucks. You lose all your hard work when your account gets banned or something like that. It's awful. I've been through it. Trust me. But keep that in mind. If they're putting efforts out there to stop you, that says that they're threatened by you.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes. That happened to me too. People got so mad at me that they went on my YouTube and basically called me a domestic terrorist with all my videos, and then ended up getting suspended for 2 weeks. It's pretty crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video right here.
Yeah,
pause quick. So this is coming from she's blowing up. She's blowing up. Her name is she goes by Tay Tay B on Instagram and I believe on TikTok as well.
Dude, I know Tay. I've talked to her. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's definitely blowing up. Matter of fact, she was reading some of my comments when her and Black Spider Guy advice was on Instagram Live, and they were both reading my comments. I was making some good points, so it's cool to see her read those comments. So shout out to Tay Tay. Let me play this video real quick, and then we'll get going with that. So
I hope this is the video I saw that she posted earlier today or something like that, because I was going to send it to you, so we definitely need to watch this.
Yeah, it's called Pick Me versus Feminist, and I guess this girl was going on.
Oh, sorry.
All right, let me go ahead and do like this way right here. There we go. So here's the video right here.
I got on one lash, I got rained on, but hear me out. Y'all bitches always saying pick me, but I can tell who was raised by side bitches. Let's really talk about this. A lot of you women were raised by bitches who were side bitches, so a lot of the shit that y'all think is okay or think is cool, y'all think our mama do, but you don't know your mama or your grandma was a side bitch. So like, let me elaborate. You calling me a pick me because I spoke on some shit that y'all bitches know is true, but because I'm a woman and I said it and I'm supposed to have, like, I guess it's woman code, y'all got a problem. I don't even like you bitches. I don't give a fuck if I'm a woman. I don't like y'all. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't like y'all. I don't like y'all because of shit like this. Y'all never honest with y'all fucking stuff. That's why a lot of the shit y'all go through, a lot of the problems y'all have, and a lot of the emotional support that y'all need is because of y'all. Because y'all don't fucking be honest with yourselves. Literally, y'all bitches ain't done nothing but prove my point. And then y'all bitches always talk about pick me. Bitch, your mama wasn't picked. That's why you think the way that you do. You've never had a real male figure in your life to really be real with you and tell you how men really think. Y'all be listening to these little ass boys that y'all think is all for real, and these niggas literally just be trying to fuck y'all. They don't tell you how men really think about y'all. The shit that y'all be doing, that dumb ass going back to niggas every single time they fuck you over, or always calling these niggas with y'all business and advice, they be cooking y'all ass behind the scenes. Like I said, a lot of you bitches were raised by side bitches. Bitches that wanted to be picked. So y'all think the shit that y'all doing is okay. And I bet you if you go in the room right now and look at your motherfucking mama and see how her life turned out, you gonna listen to what I said and know that I'm right.
Now I'm gonna be real with you guys right now. I don't believe in women empowerment whatsoever. And I like this girl because she's honest, authentic, and raw and real. And that's all I love, especially because today's generation, fake, plastic, all this stuff, it's annoying. Be yourself. But the one thing I'm going to tell you is I respect this so much because women empowerment to me is being yourself authentically, saying what you want, standing up for what's right, even when it gets you hated, not being promiscuous, not doing all this stuff. Now, that being said, I love how women call me misogynistic and you're a pick-me, you're this, you're that. Why? They think I seek validation from social media because when they post a picture, that's what they're doing for $3.99. Get the hell out of here. Projection. Next. Women also will come on this app and be like, you're misogynistic. When I was raised by a grandmother who's been in a healthy relationship for decades. My grandpa passed away, and I have a lot of family members who have been together since they were 16 years old. So when I come on these apps talking about it, y'all, I was raised around it. Now, I'm not saying I've never seen toxicity. I've never been around toxicity. That's a lie. But you know what, guys? I hate when women on these apps try to comfort people like me, her, Pearl, all of us. Because why? We want a healthy relationship? Because we defend men? Because we don't go with you guys? You guys support each other? And it's fake. It's fake, and we know it. I don't need to say anything because this girl stole the words out of my mouth. God bless you, Queen. You made my 2023 year. Wow, y'all. I'm stunned by this. But God bless y'all. All the girls who are pick-me's and all that.
All right, right on. Hey, yo, man. She was not wrong whatsoever. She was not wrong in what she was saying. Both of them, Tay Tay and the other girl. She's absolutely right, man, because women are not honest. Like, I've been saying this for the longest time, Nick, and you know this. I've been saying this. 3 things that women cannot do is be honest, admit when they're wrong, and be held accountable, bro. I'm gonna do a whole book about that, bro. I'm gonna do a whole book. 3 things women cannot do. Chapter 1.
Wait, say your list again, and I want to hear Rosita's thoughts on it.
Oh, my list? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So I was saying, I was basically saying that 3 things that women cannot do is tell the truth, admit when they're wrong, and be held accountable. I've always said that.
Tell the truth,
admit when they're wrong,
and be held accountable.
Yeah, be held accountable.
Rosita, do you vibe with that?
Yeah.
Amazing. She's based, dude. She's based.
The thing is, okay, I have to say one thing. The first girl who was talking, I couldn't keep up with what she was saying. So
I heard everything she said.
It was ghetto Ebonics. I'll admit that.
No, I heard everything she said, bro.
But I can understand. So let me translate. More or less, she was saying that these women who insult and demean other women by calling them pick-me's, which is a popular term nowadays, they're actually the daughters of women that were not pick-me's, so to speak. They were trying to be picked by men and never got picked. So they were raised by single mothers who were resentful, or for whatever reasons they were bad apples. And now they're resentful of the women that are pick-me's, who are actually trying to give men what they want and be picked up by men.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, essentially, look.
Pick-me? I responded, yeah, I'm a pick-me. What now, bitch?
Dude, Julius, you got quite a lady here, man. If only you guys weren't half a world away. You're all right. You're all right, Rosita.
I mean, this year if I can, hopefully, if I get a fucking job. Fucking awful shithole place.
You better meet up with Julius or I. We got to do a live show here sometime.
I'm trusting, bro. That'd be dope.
That's where I'm going.
Where are you going?
Orange County and LA. I want to go to LA to meet my cousin, and Orange County to go to the Zoroaster Center.
Well, I'm in Sac. Yeah, I'm in Sac. I'm far away from LA. I'm like 6 hours away from Los Angeles. So
that ain't no thing. If she gets to America, 6 hours is nothing.
Yeah. Well, so all I was going to say was that that chick, the one who was, so people were saying that they couldn't understand what she was saying because she was talking so fast. But when to go on what Nick was saying, essentially what that woman was saying was a lot of these females today whose mothers were side chicks of the man that was cheating on their main chick are the ones being raised and treating relationships and men how they are because of their mothers that were side chicks. Because you got men who would cheat on their girls, and then they would get that other girl pregnant, and she was the side chick. Now she has this kid. She's raising her kids, and if it's a daughter, she's raising her daughter to basically be what she was, a side chick. So their relationships is never successful because they hold that resentment from the parents. So females are getting mad at her because she's calling out the truth, but that's what tends to happen. When you start telling the truth, they start throwing words at you. You're a pick-me. You're a misogynist. You're this. You're that. I know. Just like with men, every time a man tells the truth about women, it's always, you're gay. Just come out the closet already. I'm like, bro, stop it.
Just because I wouldn't fuck you doesn't mean I'm gay.
Right. You know what I mean? So it's like they always want to throw words at female. Mind you, that female might have gone through some things in her life, whatever the case may be, but she can see how disingenuous women are today. Not all, but a lot of women are very disingenuous because they're not honest with themselves. And because of that, they're a walking lie.
They're also the unhealed feminine, aka the dark feminine.
Yeah, the dark side of the moon's what they are.
They're the dark side of something, all right.
I mean, that's why yin is the night / the moon. Oh, you there's people that say stuff like she's like the moon or whatever. Like the woman is like a moon. They're not wrong. That comes from yin yang.
Mm-hmm. No, I've heard. I know exactly what you're saying. And the sun is the electric push of the universe, the masculine, and the moon is the magnetic pull of the universe, the feminine.
Yeah.
This comment here says the internet changed everything. The world has never been this connected in known history. It's beautiful and ugly. Don't let dark forces trick you. Stay free. What's funny about
excellent sentiment. I love that.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is that the way I see it, it's like we've been given so much connection that we ended up being disconnected. Because social media is supposed to bring us together because we can talk to those around the world. But look at how much we're disconnected because of it. Because now social media has got, it's like anything goes. People are posting crazy stuff. You're seeing like people fighting in Walmart. You're seeing girls who wake up and, 8 o'clock in the morning with their shower cap twerking on Instagram. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? It's weird stuff like that, bro. Like, you see the most craziest things. You see baby mama, baby daddy drama. Like, she getting mad because he won't pay, give McDonald's to her other kids, but he gives McDonald's to his own kids. Like, you know what I'm trying to say, bro? People just take their cell phone down and do anything. So social media to me has ruined relationships. Today, relationships, they ruin marriages. It's because you got all this hypergamous nature from females that they got this man, but they go on social media and this other guy got like 22.4 million followers. All his pictures are like in suits and her man just wearing like casual jeans. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
he's suddenly possibly attainable. He's within arm's reach of being attained at least. I could DM him and he might receive it. And anyways, Rosita, what do you make of the Instagram landscape as far as women go? And what I mean by that is, as an example question, how many DMs do you get a week or a day from men?
Well, the thing is that I don't really use, don't really use Instagram that much, but like I get a lot of weird messages, like from fake accounts. So I don't even know men.
Well, do you have pictures of yourself on there or not on your Instagram, or is it just like a professional thing?
I have photos, but I mainly am making like a lot of reels and shorts right now, so you can see my face.
Okay, so that's all they need to see. So that's definitely going to bring out the Instagram betas.
Matter of fact, quick question too. So, with you being on Instagram and whatnot, and you doing your reels and all that kind of stuff, and you like little pictures here and there, especially in like the comment section, do you ever see guys like? So like for example, when a girl posts a picture like of herself or she has her face on there, you ever see guys do like the most beta male stuff? Like they post like emojis with heart eyes or something like that, or
Oh
like
my god, beta!
I mean, the last photo I posted of myself,
You got it. You got some of
the
that shit.
sweat face thing. I don't even know. Like, do you know?
I know what you're talking about. It's that angry one. It looks angry, but it's like the hot one is like
Yeah.
like she that's so weird, bro. That's what I'm talking. But that's what I'm talking about, though. I would argue that Instagram now has created a bunch of beta males because so many women post like sexual pictures on there, even if it's not sexual, but it's something almost close to being desirable. That man would comment, and that's what I find interesting to me. Look, whatever you do behind closed doors, as long as it's not harmful to somebody else, you do what you got to do. But why publicize your lust on social media, bro? Contain that. Like,
Real.
you know what I
Here's the
mean?
other part of it.
I recently like posted a photo of like just standing in front of a mirror because I was proud of the fact that like I lost all my lockdown weight.
Oh yeah, what's your Instagram handle? No, I'm just kidding.
I removed it now because like,
I'm just
proud.
that's just go on. Yeah, and what happened? The guy, what did they do?
I mean, like I was wearing clothes, but like.
Sure. But it was like hot. You looked attractive. Like I mean, you were proud of your body.
I can't even post like something that like the fact that I'm proud of like losing weight.
What happened? Tell us what the guys did.
They just like they messaged me some things and then
Wait, so you posted that picture and some guy messaged you because of that picture?
yes.
A lot of guys, it sounds like.
That's crazy.
To a level,
I mean, it ain't that crazy, but you know, it's just.
It was just like
a lot. It was
conversation.
It made you.
In the mood.
It made you regret having put that picture out there, and then having to regret that makes you regret that. I get it. It's a mess. These beta males. Well, this is why we're ushering in the age of men. It sounds chauvinistic or some shit like that. Well, realize we're doing it for you ladies as much as us. You guys are dying for some real men.
Like I was waiting. I was hoping that you guys would ask me this, but I'm gonna I'm gonna go with true or false. If the woman was posting a photo of herself where like she's revealing she's at a beach or something, and a attractive guy comments or likes it, do you think she'd enjoy that more compared to like a guy that she doesn't find attractive?
Yes,
absolutely. I will. Yeah, I mean, every woman on. I would argue, if not all, but most women love validation on social media. It's why they post pictures of themselves, and you can tell like they try to be wholesome about it, but they're like doing this, and you see like half a boob here, like you know what I mean. Like they'll still do something to show something. So whether it's the guy that they want or the guy they don't, they like the validations are equal. Like
it's not equal. It's not quite equal. The likes are equal in that sense, but they get a little dopamine kick. But I think Rosita, yes, I would say for sure, a man that she perceives as high value, validating her in that way, would exponentially go further than all the other beta males combined that commented or whatever.
Yeah, she'll DM him.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, maybe like majority of women are like that, but like for me personally, like I see my Instagram as not only like something that I'm trying to like, grow my platforms on, but also it's kind of personal as well in the sense that I want to document like things that have happened in my life. Mm-hmm. So it is hard. Maybe it is hard for you guys to believe, but I genuinely am not like looking for validation. I'm just like putting a photo of.
You seem like the type. Well, you seem like the type of girl that actually has some self-confidence, and from what I hear with your dad and whatnot, it actually makes sense that you would grow up and be a healthy young lady, not seeing it for what it is. Like it's shallow, gross kind of validation that's objectifying me, and so yeah, I totally understand. And just maybe make your thing private, or you're gonna have to like separate the personal documentation, make a new account or something. But
Or just block him.
you can block them
I
too.
like
But what
the
I'm
fact
saying is,
that I haven't asked, though. I'll say that.
you haven't asked.
See, I knew it, bro. I knew it. See, Nick. See, hold on, Nick.
What'd she say? I didn't hear it. What'd she say?
She said, "I appreciate the fact that I haven't asked, bro." When she said, "I'm not on there to try to get validation," the first thing I thought was,
No, I don't need validation. That's the thing. I know I have a nice ass.
Well, hey, hon, I'll believe it when I see it.
the moment you said that, "I'm not on Instagram to get validation."
Prove it. Prove
I
it.
don't need
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
Hold on. Prove it real quick.
I'm not proving it.
Hey, you do all that, bro. Calm down, Nick. Quit simping, Nick. I know simping ain't easy. I know it ain't easy.
Julius, stop blocking the content, man. You're cock blocking over here. You're content blocking.
Oh, this is
People want to
hilarious.
see that
I
ass.
love
I mean, she said it.
it.
So you might as well take it now.
Believe no women.
Right? She said it. We don't believe her, bro. She said she got ass. We don't believe her, bro. She lying. Believe no women, bro. Oh God.
Hey Julius,
know what
that's
I'm
perfect
like.
timing too. We
Like,
got a few
you've
minutes
seen
left
me
of the
on
show. That's
Twitter.
how we
I
do
don't
it,
know.
folks.
Shut
We'll
up.
put your
Somebody said, "What's your IG?" Someone in the comments said, "What's your IG, bro?" Oh my God, man. Amazing.
You
This has
already
been
know
fun.
what I'm like. You've seen me on Twitter, right? You've seen this
Oh,
shit that I
I see you. Bro, we'll talk after it, Nick. We'll talk after it, bro. The stuff she be saying on Twitter, bro. That's why she said, "Oh, I'm on Instagram and no validation, bro. Stop the cap.
I
Stop
can't
the
wait.
cap."
Hey, that's what I call a cliffhanger in the business, folks. That's a cliffhanger right there. We'll clue you guys in as appropriate, but
Hey, somebody said, K-Train said, "What's your OnlyFans?" Her OnlyFans is, "I have ass." Oh my God, dude.
Fat ass 97.
Earth to his ass. That's her OnlyFans. Vegan ass. Her name is Vegan ass. That's her name. You want that raw vegan?
Oh my God, stop me. I'm gonna die.
All right,
Where's
yo.
your sister at? Has your sister been hearing this whole time?
Hey, she actually tiptoed earlier, bro. You guys know walk fast. She was like, "Who got ass?" I'm the one who got the ass.
Well, hey,
So, you want polygamy? You want polygamy?
Rosita, you've been great. You've actually been a pleasure, dear. It's refreshing to meet young ladies like you that got some sense, some practical, looks in the world, and have like a bubbly, fresh, cool attitude. So it's very refreshing when you deal with girls like Bambi and all these other girls that come at us all the time that are just exhausting. They hate our guts for some reason. So thank you for being you. And is there anything that you want to take from the show or wrap up with, or I don't know, final thoughts?
Yeah. Any last words you got for all the ladies out there? Any last words where folks can follow you at, all your work, your content, all that kind of stuff?
She probably don't want to post it now. She's second guessing.
So I'm taking down all my pictures. All you get is nature photos.
I don't know, like masculine energy. We're in a spiritual war, I guess. So masculine energy needs to come back. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, great.
And I've been saying
thought.
that for like the last 5 years when I had that psychic dream, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that you guys probably think I'm weird for saying
No, I
that.
don't actually at all. Believe it or not. I think that some of that stuff's real.
So where can the folks find you at? Where can they get all your content at?
Okay, so you can find me on YouTube, Earth to Rosita. On Instagram, it's Earth to Rosita, the number 2. And Twitter, it's Pisces Rose and the _.
Yeah, and then so are you guys watching? I'll put the links down. I forgot to do it beforehand, so that's my fault for that one. I'll put her links down below so you guys can follow her on social media, follow all her work and her content, YouTube, all that good stuff. Nick, where can the folks follow you at? No ass photos, guys. No ass photos, unless you want it. No.
My OnlyFans is you can find me at C3Nick on Instagram, TikTok, the usual places. YouTube, we're getting there, but yeah, thanks to anybody for joining us and commenting. It's been great. You guys have been active the whole time. That's what I love doing about this.
Yeah,
appreciate you guys. Yeah, you guys can find my OnlyFans Today with Julius. I'll definitely show you Today with Julius. No, I'm kidding. Now you guys can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, Gab, Rumble, all Today with Julius. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, too, Nick, tell the folks about your YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is Common Sense Culture, and then C3 in parentheses. It's very convoluted. I don't even know the handle right now. I'm sorting all that out. I'm making it much easier to find. Hopefully, it'll be something like C3Nick. But look me up on Instagram or TikTok, and then there should be a link to my YouTube in there. There's a lot of good content on there, if you ask me. For my Instagram lives, I usually premiere them over there later if they're good.
Yeah, both of you guys have great content, man. Nick, you got great content. Rosita, you got great content on your YouTube as well, and your Instagram as well.
Stutter. Did you really mean that?
No, I have a speech impediment, so it's just a habit. I always have I'm always genuine about what I say. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. Both of you guys do have great content. I do watch your content over there on YouTube. I do watch it. But yeah, so
Julius, that makes three of us, bro. That makes three of us because your content is fire.
For sure. I love your content. I like the how you go out on the street and the conversations that you have. I find them really interesting.
Everybody loves them, man. His street interviews. Everybody loves Julius's.
I appreciate that. Unfortunately, I'm trying to get back out there, but until I can get my phone bill paid, I'll be back out there doing questions. But I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys can follow me Today with Julius on all social media platforms. Hopefully you guys have fun tonight. I know we kind of had a long talk, but we got into some funny stuff. So hopefully you guys liked it. Definitely great conversations. Rosita, we would love to have you back on pretty soon.
I'd love to be on again.
Yeah, we'll try to get more folks too as well. So God bless you guys. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Quick, just to bring this fuller circle. That reminds me. Yeah, we were going to have a panel of young ladies. Two of them actually I know pretty well, and they committed, but no call, no shows at the time of the show. So again, believe no women, folks.
Exactly.
Believe no women.
They said they're going to be on, but we didn't believe them. So
with that said, we're out of here, people. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Age of Men. Ushered in once again.
Yep. God bless you guys. God bless your family. God bless America. God bless the world. I adapt that from my friend Anomaly. Shout out to him. So I appreciate you guys. Do like this video, share this video, and we'll catch you guys next week. God bless, guys. Have a good one.